This goo's got glow. Here's your look at the Super 7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Entertainment Earth exclusive glow-in-the-dark Mutagen Man. Victim of Krang's insidious experiments, Seymour Guts woke up from a lab table only to find himself hideously transformed into Mutagen Man, a pathetic, dripping, ever-changing, mutating monster. Confined to a mechanical life support system that holds his mutating body together, Mutagen Man is now dependent on ooze to replenish his deteriorating form. Forced to do Shredder's bidding in exchange for retro mutagen ooze, Mutagen Man reluctantly performs dastardly deeds to get the substance his body so desperately craves. Before we get a closer look at the Entertainment Earth exclusive of Mutagen Man, I'd like to first thank the folks over at Entertainment Earth that did in fact provide the sample of Mutagen Man that we could have a look at in this review. If you guys are interested and was a big fan of the original Mutagen Man we looked at here on this channel, I'll provide the link down below in the video description that will take you on over to Entertainment Earth's website where you can pick this one up for yourself. Let's go ahead now and take the ruler and put it right to the very top of Mutagen Man's head. I feel like we've done this already. The figure stands about 7.5 inches in height, maybe closer to 7 3/8 of an inch, and that works out to be about a figure that's 19 centimeters tall. Yes, for those that have been following this channel, and thank you for following this channel, will know that I've already had a look at the Super 7 Mutagen Man, at least in his original color scheme. We can bring him in right now for some comparisons. Not so much size comparisons, more or less cosmetic differences, because you can see the difference between the two. The molds seem to be the exact same to one another, but the Entertainment Earth exclusive not only is going to have a glow-in-the-dark option available, but you can see they've radically changed the color scheme to him, and I'm really liking the look of it. Because the changes are cosmetic, it results in this Mutagen Man having the same exact accessories as the one that we looked at earlier, other than the fact that the smaller accessories, which we are about to have a look at, are in glow-in-the-dark plastic. Starting first, the figure comes included with a wrench. So far, by the way, if you are curious about the other Mutagen Man we looked at earlier here on this channel, did you lose any of the accessories? So far, no. I probably have now jinxed myself for this review, but it comes included with a smaller adjustable wrench. And all these accessories, by the way, can fit inside of his plastic cavity. It comes also included with a dog bone. Although the fact that this is all glowing plastic, probably not a good idea that Doggy starts chewing away on this bone. Probably radiation. Figure also comes included with a dangly eyeball. And again, it's all using the same plastic. That glow-in-the-dark plastic. I'm not actually going to individually glow all of these, just because, again, the plastic that they're using for all of these just is the same plastic that they're going to be using for the body. We're going to look at the glow-in-the-dark on the main Mutagen Man, but again, we'll go through all the individual accessories. A little tiny fish. I would imagine the fish is dead. Being the fact it's irradiating and glowing, I would imagine if it isn't dead, it will be dead soon. Figure also comes included with a little tiny turtle, or tortoise. Possibly turtle. Nice detail on it. And again, all molded in the same plastic. The figure also comes included with a little tiny slice of pizza. I'm sure to the naked eye you may be able to spot, it looks like there's pepperoni on there, possibly some mushrooms. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about what toppings are on that pizza. And last and certainly not least, the figure also comes included with an apple. There, we did it. We did it. We didn't lose any of the accessories. Moving on to the other things the figure comes included with. Like the original Playmates release, the figure comes included with all those same accessories that we just finished having a look at, instead in a weapons tray. I always call it a weapons tray because the original Turtles toys came included with weapons trays. And essentially, you could just remove these all for, if you wanted to. Just to kind of give you an idea. There's the fish, white plastic, more glow-in-the-dark plastic against more of a even glowing neon. You don't even have to really expose this to light. It's already pulsating green. But yeah, you could really remove all of these if you wanted to. I'm for really the idea of keeping them really contained in their tray. Because, you already have those accessories anyways. Oh, by the way, just in case you're curious, this was the tray that comes included with the Entertainment Earth exclusive, and starting off our comparisons, this was the tray that came included with the original Super 7 Mutagen Man. Exactly the same. You could lay one over to the top of the other and match those fingerprints up. It's the same exact tray. The figure also comes included one other similar item. It comes included with this blaster. Now, again, the original blast that came included with Mutagen Man would have been all molded in the original yellow plastic, a hark back, a throwback to the original Playmates Mutagen Man that would have had this type of blaster. Now, they have unfortunately sacrificed now paint. The gold is now completely gone in favor of just all molding this in green plastic. But still a nice looking blaster that can fit into his hand. I didn't say hand pluralizing, by the way, because if you take the figure, I don't know if I actually did this the other review. Whoops, not dropping his hand in the process. Go ahead and just pick up Mutagen Man. But what I had done before in the other review, I don't think I actually took the blaster and fit it into his hand on this side. I probably should do it in this review just to kind of rectify things. Yeah, you can see it fits well, almost well, but it sits a little looser. It fits certainly a lot better in this hand, although it's much tighter quarters, holding on to the hand this time around so we actually don't drop the figure. This just fits into his hand. Again, a much tighter grip, but at least it ensures that the blaster isn't going to be going anywhere. That looks pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. After all that, after almost risking dropping the figure, let's just go ahead and remove his blaster now. Yeah, you can see what I mean. It's a little more difficult to try to get it free from his grip. And in the process, you may be removing his hands, but go ahead and just pop those back in place. There we go. Well, we're also on the topic of hands. Were we on the topic of hands? Yes. Yes, we were on the topic of hands. The figure also comes included with molded hands, closed fists. And just a comparison, we can bring in the one that originally came with Mutagen Man. While the mold, you could certainly argue, is the exact same. I would definitely not argue against that. One thing that certainly is different is the plastic that they've used. Nice little bumps and warts and all the other things that make up Mutagen Man's body. And again, the open gash here. Whereas this would have been a more darker, kind of Welch's grape purple. This is a much brighter Gem and the Holograms pink. Why did you reference Gem and the Holograms? I don't know. But yeah, he does come included with some closed fists. Put those to the side as well. Having a closer look now at Mutagen Man, and of course through the process of doing this, we're going to go some back and forth comparisons. I guess it would probably be a good idea to make sure I have the other Mutagen Man readily on the hand here, and we can go ahead and pick up the Mutagen Man that is the Entertainment Earth exclusive. Once again, for those that like their comparisons, this is the original Mutagen Man that we looked at from Super 7. A glorious, spectacular looking figure. And then, of course, this is the one that we get from Entertainment Earth. Colors have been quite considerably changed. You can see that really none of the original colors survive with this release from Entertainment Earth. The colors, again, instead of getting purple for the frame, we are now getting treated to a more metallic green. And again, all the skin tone has now been replaced with something that's going to be eventually glowing. Eventually glowing, because we're going to be doing that in a second. Like with the original release, because again, they're using the exact same mold, you can fill the chamber by simply just removing the top cap here. Just popping that like so, and just put that to the side. And inside, even though it doesn't come included with the slime, just choose a slime of your liking. You probably could easily go to a specialty store, like even a dollar store, I would imagine, still has things like slime available, and just fill up the chamber to get your desired height. I might even just leave it off. I still have yet to put slime in the other Mutagen Man. I just kind of think that I'm going to be ruining the figure. I know its plan is to originally have slime inside. I kind of just like the idea of being able to fully see his body inside and see his brains and see his eyeballs and see all that glorious sculpting that they did inside. You know, one thing that's actually to the credit of the Entertainment Earth exclusive, again, will involve me bringing in the original one so you can see. The original one was pretty much clear plastic all the way down. It was much easier, certainly, to make out the features on the inside, his big bulging eyes, the big brain, the big skull inside. Well, slightly smaller skull and compared to his brain. His brain's quite giant. But down below, I mean, it was clear from top to clear to bottom. Here, though, on the other hand, when we look at the Entertainment Earth exclusive, you can kind of see it gets a little more murkier down below, almost as if it's already filled with slime. In fact, it actually has already done the job for me. I don't even feel now I have to fill this with slime because they've actually tinted the plastic slightly. You can even see on the back here where it's slightly just an off coloring here that actually results in it looking like it's partially filled with slime, maybe to about here. The details and features are about the same here. Nice sculpting on the arms. Again, more of a lighter plastic that they've used. And here's the back tank. The original Playmates would have had the back tank as a separate piece, and I believe you would have had to attach that and then go ahead and attach the tube. But Super 7 has already done the job for you, cutting out at least one step of getting this guy fully on your display shelf. The tank is nicely bright, in that same bright neon pink, matches the same coloring of the gash open wounds here on his arms. I like the additional gold that they've added, and pretty much following suit to everything kind of glowing and pulsating. It's got a nice bright green hose that connects the tank to the top of the chamber that would be essentially filled with slime. It's a nice, again, looking figure. And again, you probably are going to be seeing this guy glow in the dark soon, shortly, because as I've been mambering on, talking away about this guy. He has been in the process absorbing all the studio lights. And in a second, we're actually going to cut off the lights, and you guys can see what he looks like glow in the dark. First thing we're going to do, while it is absorbing more of the light, I'm going to have a look at the articulation on the figure. Now, of course, like the original release and the original Playmates one, there's no articulation happening here. This is more spectacle, and then this is the articulation on the figure. So starting with his arms rotate all the way around. Just be careful of hitting the hose in the process. Arms do hinge out at a comfortable 90-degree angle bend. You can rotate the forearm back and forth and also hinge the elbow. Hands also rotate all the way around and hinge those back and forth as well. Getting to the waist, no waist articulation for the obvious reasons, but the legs do split out. Again, even though this is really a different type of plastic that they're using, I really do like the plastic that Super7 is using for their figures. I mentioned it already when we looked at the Mutagen Man, the original Mutagen Man, that the plastic feels sort of more of a, not gummier, but it feels more of like a softer rubbery plastic. Not soft to the point where you could squeeze it, but it feels like there's a lot more give to it. Not rigid plastic where you're worried about snapping any of the joints. The legs move forward and back though. You can do almost somewhat of a splits there for Mutagen Man. And again, there's limitations here on this leg. That was the same issue on the original Mutagen Man. Maybe we can just go ahead and grab him as well. The leg brace was still plaguing the problems of bending the knees just because it was so close to the knee joint. Still, this Mutagen Man has the exact same problems. You can bend the knee only just slightly back and forth this way, but you can more so rotate it this way. Now, this one actually bends a lot more, simply just because there's nothing really getting in the way of things. And again, you can rotate the lower leg. The feet also bend back and forth, and there is an ankle pivot. Not even sure if I mentioned an ankle pivot in the previous review of Mutagen Man, but overall, just again, nice looking figure. Now again, living up to the whole idea that this guy's been sucking the studio light energy this whole time, what we are actually going to do is I'm going to cut the lights and I'm going to show you guys what this guy looks like when he's glowing in the dark. Though only really exposing the figure to lamplight for about a minute or so, you may already be able to see that he's glowing a bright green. Results may certainly vary, as if you guys are seeing this in the camera right now, it may not be appearing as bright as what I'm currently seeing right now. But the legs, the arms, and even the eyeballs, which is a nice treat, all are glowing a very nice bright green. Now I know the glow-in-the-dark effect here on Mutagen Man looks a lot better in hand than it does on camera. A lot of times you just can't get it to glow as bright, or at least the camera doesn't pick it up as bright as what you're actually seeing it. Results may also vary too, depending on how long you have the Mutagen Man exposed to a lamplight or any source of light. The longer, of course, you have it in front of a lamp, the brighter and longer it will glow for. Even if you don't mind the fact that it didn't get really a chance to see the glow-in-the-dark effect, what you still see, though, with the lights now turned on, is a very different approach to going with Mutagen Man. Instead of the more traditional colors that we got with the original Playmates-inspired color scheme that Super7 first did, we're doing something a little bit different here by swapping around the colors. It sort of actually makes him look more sickly, almost look more dead, by the off-coloring green that they gave to his body. I actually like the color scheme on this one. I think the purist in me still goes back to the original Playmates colors that Super7 delivered. But I gotta say, I like the color scheme on this one too. And this one also works better if you don't plan to ever put slime inside the chamber, which I'm still sort of on the fence as to whether I want to do. On the one hand, it's neat to have slime inside of a toy. Long term, though, I don't know if I want to be able to go in there and have to clean out everything once that slime starts breaking down, and it always seems to happen with slime. Eventually, slime starts deteriorating, very much similar to Mutagen Man himself. But at least the Entertainment Earth exclusive, one thing that was nicely done about this one is that they off-tinted that clear plastic body. So it does kind of give you the look like he's filled with slime without actually having to commit to putting slime inside of his body. A big thank you, though, to the folks over at Entertainment Earth that did, in fact, provide this Entertainment Earth exclusive Mutagen Man that we could have a look at in this review. If you guys are interested and would like to pick this one up, having already picked up the original Mutagen Man in its Playmates colors, or maybe just haven't had a chance yet to get the original Mutagen Man, but digging the color scheme on this one, I'll provide the link down below in the video description that will take you on over to Entertainment Earth's website. And if you guys are new to this channel, you're enjoying the content that you're seeing, a couple of things you can do for yourself, one of which you can hit that subscribe button down below. Then you can turn on the bell notification so you get those friendly reminders whenever new videos are going to be popping up. And speaking of things that are popping up at the end of this video, you may also notice a Super7 playlist popping up. That's of all the other Super7 stuff that I've looked at. But it's not a very long list of stuff to look at. But certainly I hope that that will be changing as we're going to be looking at more Super7 releases coming away in the not so distant future. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.